This video is brought to you by Bitbox NES game cases. There is no better way to protect, store, and show off your NES game collection. Only available at stoneagegamer.com/bitbox. Skip it up and that up. Sony, man. You done fucked up. So we all know that Watch Dogs, couldn't think of the name for a second, is coming out on May 27th. And some may argue it's the most anticipated game of the year. I'm up in the air on it. I'm going to buy it. But I'm kind of, I have a feeling the game is going to be fun and tedious. And I was actually, maybe I might be right, because I was watching Tara Long from Rev3 Games play the game, and she said exactly what I was thinking about the game. Some of the missions were a little tedious. So could be an amazing game, and I could totally be wrong. I just have this feeling that it's not going to be up my alley as much as I'm hoping. But anyway, that's personal opinion. Moving on. Maybe I'll be blown away by it. But anyway, if you went to PlayStation.com, even yesterday, went there and saw it with my own eyes, Sony was making a bold statement about their version of Watch Dogs, or the version that's coming to the PlayStation 4. And I actually got this screen cap from a cool dude on Gaming Battlegrounds, which is a Facebook gaming community, which I'll have a link to that below in the description. You should go and request to sign up for. It's a really fun Facebook page, and I strongly recommend it. But there was a guy in there, I'm not going to give his name out because he probably doesn't want me to, who did a screen cap of what Sony was saying yesterday and what Sony is now saying about Watch Dogs today. Yesterday they were claiming that it was 1080p 60 frames per second. And today they're not. I'll read you what it originally said. PlayStation.com, as of yesterday, said this: "The world of Watch Dogs comes alive on PS4 with the best graphics on any console and exclusive missions found only on PlayStation. Hack everything as you make your way through Chicago's underground as you experience Watch Dogs in a way that only PS4 can provide at 1080p and 60 frames per second." I said that part backwards, but you get the point. Now, if you look today, hack everything as you make your way. Look at the bottom part of the picture. Hack everything as you make your way through Chicago's underground as you experience Watch Dogs in a way that only the PS4 can provide. Oops. Now, that did catch me by surprise when I saw that on PlayStation.com the game was going to be 1080p 60 frames per second, because Watch Dogs creative director Jonathan Morin, back in September of 2013, which was a while ago, so maybe they, refined the engine and streamlined it. Maybe they did get 1080p 60 frames per second. Said this. He said the game wasn't going to run at any higher than 30 frames per second. This is what he had to say. Right now, the frame rate we're focusing on is a steady 30 frames per second. There's always a balance, especially for open world, between the simulation and the rest. I think for where we are, the most important thing is the steadiness and ensuring that it's always capped the same so when you play, it feels right. So Sony, what the hell happened? The game's coming out in 2 weeks. Obviously, you and Ubisoft know what the resolution and frame rate are going to be. I mean, I heard before it was going to be 1080p for the PS4 and like 960p for the Xbox One, but 60 frames per second for an open world game? I'm expecting my gaming rigs for my PC to have a tough time with that. And they're both the AMD and my Intel rig. They're pretty beefy rigs. So that was like, when I saw that on PlayStation's page, I'm like, damn. I was thinking one of two things. Either they really optimized the engine for the PS4 and maybe Sony threw them some money to make it happen, or they cut down the settings. Because yeah, if I put the lowest settings on, Watch Dogs, I'm sure I could get like 120 frames per second or higher on my PC gaming rig. So I was like, oh, please don't tell me they like cut down the graphics too, because they know that resolution is the biggest thing so far this gen. So they want to say they have Watch Dogs at 1080p 60 frames per second and the graphics look average at best. But are you guys, is Sony and Microsoft, are they going to turn resolution into like, the 16-bit wars? Like, is it going to get that ridiculous again? Or is Sony going to come out with like Sony does what Microsoft don't commercials like Genesis does? Like, are we going to see crap like that? Because what the hell happened? Like, how did you put such a bold statement up and withdraw it the next day? So that obviously means the game doesn't run at 60 frames per second. Dude, who wrote that up? Was there like a pissed off employee that was trolling? Did Ubisoft give Sony misinformation? I mean, is it devastating news? No, but it is, I don't know. For some reason, it annoys me. That's like such a bold statement to make and then to take it away the next day. It's just weird, man. And it's almost like I feel like Sony and Microsoft are like diving into, because they know Resolution Gate. I hate that term, but whatever. Resolution Gate is the big thing this generation, and I feel like that, you know, they're playing into that now. That's why it annoys me. I feel like Sony and Microsoft, because they put that up, they're playing, 1080p, 60 frames per second. We can do 1080p. We can, you know, and you can't, Microsoft, and we can do it. So that it's almost like they were like really, you know, trying to get people to buy into that. And now they just took it away a day later from one of the most anticipated games of the year. And did you think no one was going to catch it, Sony? I mean, like I just said, someone from Gaming Battlegrounds took a still from the quote yesterday that you had up and the quote today. So, oops. I don't know. I feel like this is the 16-bit wars all over again, and I'm not entirely thrilled with it. All right, folks, this is Rich of Review Tech USA. Make sure to rate, comment, favorite, and subscribe. And as always, thank you for supporting my channel. Have a good one.